People. This was not a trivial exercise.
No, I agree.
It's,
you mentioned vetting, and I would probably imagine, I mean, look, it was a pretty contentious time, but you got a lot of things done, and I don't think you get things done easily in Washington without stepping on some toes. I would assume probably on paper, Pence maybe vetted a little more clean than you did. I'm just guessing. And then I'm thinking, well, if we were vetting Donald Trump, how would he vet if somebody else was vetting him? And that becomes an interesting question, right?
Well, but the nice thing, and A.B. Culverhouse says it very well, for the presidential nominee, the vetters are called the American people.
That's right.
And if they vet you, you're fine. But for the vice president, you have to have a different standard, because the vice president is not going through the primaries, is not getting that kind of rugged scrutiny. And so it's actually more intense vetting vice presidential candidates than it is vetting the president. Now, the fact is, I don't know if I should say this, but it's so much fun I'm going to. Look, in many ways, Donald Trump is like a pirate. He's outside the normal system. He gets things done. He's bold. He's actually like a figure out of a movie. In a lot of ways, my entire career has been a little bit like a pirate. I've taken on the establishment of both parties. I've been very prepared to fight in the media. One of the really hard questions he's got to weigh on the way to California is, do you really want a two-pirate ticket? Or do you want to take a very solid guy?
Do you want a really bold, transformative team that is going to fight hard?
No, but in all fairness, you look at what Mike Pence did in the Congress, and then you look at what Mike Pence has done in Indianapolis as governor, building on the extraordinary record of Mitch Daniel. Indiana has a great story to tell, but his style is different than mine.
Agreed.
And you could make a pretty good argument that with somebody as big and as noisy as Donald Trump, having someone who's a little bit quieter, a little bit more.
I think you're a little quieter.
Traditional.
But look, you're making me laugh.
That's true. I am a little quieter than Donald Trump.
Does it matter that this is an outsider insurgency year? And look at what happened in Great Britain, for example, and leaving the EU. Does that?
Well, but
is
remember,
there the appetite for that level of boldness?
Look, I'm not trying to make the case for Mike, although I think if he came on, he would try to make an equally good case for me. But I will tell you this, Mike was the only member of the senior leadership who spoke at the Tea Party rally in Washington in 2010.
Yeah.
Now, that was a pretty good commitment towards being an outsider. My only point is this, I think Trump's got, and this is a little self-serving because one of them is me, but I think Trump has two very good people he's looking at in a serious way. I think that he's also looked at Chris Christie and Jeff Sessions and others. But my hunch is he's flying to California thinking about, Gingrich, Pence, Gingrich, and he's doing it right.